What if there are no heroes coming? There is no safety in our artifice, only nature who is getting tired of us. I hate to say it like I know, 'cause I don't know. I had, by this stage, not left Australia for nearly 2 decades, and I'd travelled all over the outback, lived in Darwin, what have you, but when I realised that I'd become too scared to leave our shores and had let my passport lapse, I decided I better just go straight for the scariest place that I could think of, and that was New York. And the songs that I took with me, no one had heard most of them before. So I flew over there with my songbook, and it was the middle of winter. I arrived, it's quite a long flight, it's sort of exhausting and you get all discombobulated, and when I got there I missed the connecting flight in Los Angeles, and it was sort of midnight practically on a Sunday night, Super Bowl Sunday actually, and so there wasn't anyone about, and when I came out of the airport it was snowing and it was freezing and disorienting, and every fibre in my being just wanted to get in a cab and give the cab driver this address of these people I'd never met and had to turn up at their house at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I forced myself to get on the subway just to get it over with, and I heard all these, you know, New York subway stories, and a homeless guy tried to kind of call me out of my bags by saying he would carry them for me, and it was just overwhelming. I remember standing on the platform crying with terror, and I'm really glad that I did that, because it was like ripping the bandage off, and the rest of the time that I spent in New York I felt perfectly comfortable and wasn't afraid of the place at all, and it was the setting of one of the great adventures of my life, so yeah, it's good. I was walking down 8th Avenue quite late at night, trying to figure out where I was going to find backing vocalists at that time of night. We'd been working on this song all day, and I sort of got to the point where I realised what it needed was the kind of messy, non-professional singing, sloppy backing vocals. And I hit up everybody that was hanging around the studio, and they weren't very keen, and I thought, oh, I'll go and get some beers. And so I was walking down to the store thinking, what am I gonna... And these 3 beautiful guys were standing on the corner, and one said, hey babe. And I said, hey, do you want to come and sing backing vocals on this song that I'm about to record around the corner in this studio? And he said, yeah, I make beats, he was right into it. So we sort of went back to the studio with these 3 guys following me like a chain of ducklings. And the first guy was keen, he's talking to me, walking along beside me, and then the other, his friend was kind of behind him, and then way back was the other friend that wasn't really very interested at all, and he was on his phone the whole time. So that's where we got the backing vocals for Vow to Surrender, which is the song that I'm kind of personally most pleased with. It's just a mess, it's ragged, and it slops all over the place, and it kind of is what it says, which is, this is a mess. We need to open up our hearts and step out of this mess. Say you don't remember voting for the United States. You vote with your pocket every time you spend money. I have made a promise to the landscape around me, not to let the promises of advertising confound me. The musicians came from everywhere. So some of them I recruited on the subway, or those guys I met in the street or friends of friends. Some of them were in Melbourne, some were in New York. I took with me a bunch of tracks that I'd recorded here with Brian Abrahams, the jazz drummer, and a couple of other dudes that were just very out in the jazz sense. They were so wild and hairy that it was really hard to figure out where we would shoehorn the vocal in, because I had said, just improvise, and they took me at my word. And that's why I called it Cathoel and the New Government, because to me the new government is going to have to be different from the old government, and it's going to have to be anyone really who wants to step forward and take responsibility for something that they feel strongly about.
Everything dear, how cheaply, so busy.
See, being in New York, I felt a bit like a strange species. But then the more that I encountered people, the more I found what we have in common, and sometimes I think about the parade of animals, you know, slimy, furry, scaly creatures kind of disappearing over the horizon as we make them extinct one by one. And I think these are our dear companions. You know, as far as we know, they're the only other living creatures in the whole universe. It's going to be so lonely without them. And what I realised when I was working to go over, when I was putting all my songs together, you know, I kind of trawled through the whole songbook and went through my tray of tapes, my tray of mini discs, and I realised that all of my songs are basically love songs. There's the interpersonal, you know, love songs about one person, and then there's the songs about the state of things and where we're at. And I feel, I like what Howard Thurman said. He says, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do that, because what the world needs is people that have come alive. And I feel like if you're not contributing what you really love, you're holding out on us all, you know. So it seems to me that by being more yourself and being happier, you bring what it is that you can bring to the world, and that's what we need at this stage. It's kind of all hands on deck, I think. All hands on deck.
So busy, sweet days rolling by so quickly, so easy. The day's so busy and crowded, dizzy and loud.